You want to watch it? You want to
Remember,
send it to the phone?
That's all right. But it's gonna, as long as nothing else I connect to it. You think so?
hi guys, can you see us?
Can you hear us? Good night, good night, good night,
The
good
first,
night.
who was the first person on just now?
Shashika
Yes,
Blair.
who is that? That person is a winner right there.
Yeah.
Shashika Blair,
Yeah, so we're
you're
going to
a winner.
so just let her know that she's a winner already. So we are going to bless her up during the live. So we'll
All
get
right.
information.
All right.
All
So
right.
beauty sister, welcome, welcome. Hi Chantel.
Good night, Chantel. Kadisha
Hi
checking in.
Khadija. All right, so guys, I'm gonna share the link because
In the
sometimes.
meantime, you can share it to your friends, share it to your family, your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, cousin, auntie. Who else? Everybody. Just share it. Just share it. How y'all doing though? Cody checking in. Good morning. Good morning. Claudia, pick up yourself. Cody is back. Achoo, you know. You know what's Achoo, Cody? We miss you. We miss you on the live. We miss hearing your voice on this live. That's when I miss you. See that? It miss your voice. But everyone, good night, good night. G Code, G and Snacks, good night, good night. Big up on yourself. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. I see Danille in her red.
You have to come out with something ready.
Don't. Come out strong. Come out strong. Don't.
Good night, Nax, and all right, life of the greatest couple. Okay,
Right? LAG.
LAG.
Cody, sis, big up yourself from work. Checking in. We appreciate it. We appreciate it, guys. Come on, we're about to get ready. We're waiting for Chrissy as usual. Because I'm not the late one. She's always the late one, people. So don't mix it telling her nothing different. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
I'm always the late one, Nolan.
Yeah.
That is not true. It's same like Danille, and we're always waiting on you.
It was Christina and I, okay? It was Christina.
Exactly. So people, hi sissy. Just go on. Push up me, please.
Watch it, Jay. You know, happy Valentine's Day to you and Snacks too. Hope you guys are having a great time.
A Snacks right, man. J only right LAG.
Oh my gosh.
Where's the anything lengthy is Snacks?
Yeah, anything lengthy? She.
Alright, so guys, please share the live. Invite somebody to join us tonight.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna start, right?
People, tonight, as you can see to the right or left of your screen, on the monitor, can you identify this person?
Look at the monitor and identify this person.
All right, we got Danille. She's no stranger to the program, people. No stranger at all. I know you guys remember that beautiful smile. Come on, give all right. All right, so I know you guys remember a beautiful smile. Tonight we're gonna dive in. We're gonna get Danille's story, her transition from Jamaica to US, how her challenges that she faced, opportunities as well, and it's all about empowerment as usual.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm. And happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Yes, social date. I tell everybody happy Valentine's Day already. You know.
Okay. Oh God, you know, we just like to second things and ensure that it's reiterated. It's happy Valentine's Day.
Don't.
Hi everyone, thank you guys for tuning in. Hi, Shanique. Aw,
Exclusively.
I love you too, sweetheart.
Oh, nice.
See that
Oh,
that's
so Jay here now?
Yeah, Jay. Snacks get Jay the phone.
For real, that's all Jay right there.
All right, we're going to start.
Hi,
And people
Claudia.
share it, share it live. I know it's Valentine's Day, but just share it and invite somebody to watch.
Yeah, for real. Even if you're in your bedroom, you can check in. Same.
Please,
Yeah.
because we have surprises on tonight's live. We have already a winner. She didn't even know she was gonna win something, but the first one
Right.
to in tonight was we are going to choose her as a winner. Who was that person, Christina?
Sashika
Sashika Blair.
And where is she from?
I don't know. Chantel, where is Sashika? I think I saw. Oh, Chantel referred to her as Nurse Blair. So I think
Nurse
she's a
Blair.
nurse. Yeah.
Chantel said, Nurse Blair, you're really sad.
You're really true. All right. So
Are you guys seeing comments or is it I can't see the comments, so I guess
Yeah, man, throw up one so that she can. Can you
yes.
see it?
Yes, I can see that. Awesome. So her name is Nurse Brown. Nurse
Nurse
Blair.
Blair.
Oh, congratulations, Nurse Blair. Christina will contact you for your information.
Oh, I think someone else is claiming the Nurse Brown. Throw up that.
Nurse Blair.
The Nurse Blair. Somebody else is claiming that the name. See it there?
Jesus. Me say, Corey, if I never Corey, I'm sorry, Corey. Well, there's another prize, so someone else would be able to walk away with we're not disclosing what we're blessing people with. It's Valentine's Day. It's all about love. Love is kind. And tonight I just felt in my heart that I should bless someone or two persons from the audience. Who the first person is the person who joined in first.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Christina will get her information, and then I think the maze will ask a random question, and then we'll select tonight's second winner. So you're at the right place at the right time. So Corey, if you're paying attention, hopefully you may be the lucky winner.
Exactly. Hi, Kadeen. Okay, so guys, we did a series. What's the word? A series of this from before. So, we thought it fitting to bring Danille on for her to share like from the female side of it.
From Yawd to abroad.
Yeah. And then if there's anyone else that want to share or talk about anything, you guys can link us up. But we're going to start.
Sure.
So Danille,
Hi.
how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing, oh my gosh, I'm basking in all this love that's happening on today, but I'm doing good.
And you were looking radiant. I remembered you posting earlier that your story is still being written. Your stories, what was it? Your love story is being written.
My love story is being written, yes.
As
but
we
it's not for
speak.
tonight's live. That's
As
for
we
another
speak.
night.
No,
But on the topic of love, so just want to jump into it now. All right, boom. You were in Jamaica, right?
Yes,
I know back then, knowing you from home, you had your good friend, rest in peace to Audrey, Muma, as people know her as.
Yes, always.
And you moved over into the US. So tell me, let's start by when did you move? Like, how old were you? We want to go through the emotions and everything. Everybody. Don't Chrissy?
I am getting so old. When you ask about how old I was like, damn it. I forgot to do some calculation. But I would start off by saying it has been, I can easily reflect on the years because Olivia was pregnant with Olivia. And Olivia is now 11 years old. So I've migrated now for the last 11 years. What really led me to wanting to migrate, I would start from there because I think persons may be interested or curious why I left. I was now pregnant with the third baby for the third father. And of course, I felt disappointed. I felt ashamed. I just wanted a change. I felt like if I could have an opportunity to move away, to start my life over, then I'd be able to live a more fulfilling life. You know where we're coming from. It's a lot of
Yeah.
gossiping. People tear you down with their words versus building you up. So I was one of those persons were always gonna talk about me regardless. You know what I mean? I was known for dancing in dance hall, starting parties. You know, I was bling. I was
Yeah.
cherry lips. I was Danille. I was what I'm calling again, unstoppable. We had that unstoppable crew. So, but the main reason why I chose to migrate was that I was pregnant for the third time and I was ashamed. But not only that, in 2009 was when I understood that my mother was diagnosed with cancer. And I was like, my God, you know, being her oldest daughter, I would have wanted to be there as her support system in whatever way I can.
Yeah.
And God so worked it out that I did got the visa in August of 2009, and I was able to visit my mom and my sister. And when I came, my son was already overseas because his dad and stepmom at the time had migrated due to his father's job and so on. So I was like, oh my God, I wouldn't be able to see my son again until maybe, you know, holidays or whatever. But then God opened a door for me when I applied for the visa after knowing that my mom was you know, diagnosed with cancer. And it worked out that we traveled. And when I came, you know, it was so much to even go to my mother in her sick state to say, Mom, you know, this is where I am. I know I've disappointed you. I've let you down. You know, my parents did invested in my education, but boy, Danille, it did it somewhere else. So I did not, I wouldn't say I turned out too bad at the end of it, to be honest with you. But if I could live my life over again, there are so many things that I would have changed. So that was my main reason of wanting to migrate. Just a change, just an opportunity to start a clean slate, you know, to get away from the negative environment that I was in.
I get you. I get you.
And so you say your mom was already living here, right?
Yeah, my mom was already living here. And if I was supposed to chat some more on that, when it was time to leave, what we left in August, well, that was just a visit in August. So I came, I saw what it was like, and I saw that there was an opportunity for me to make something out of life. So after a couple of weeks of being here, I think I spent 4 weeks with mom the first time. So I think after my second week and we were able to have some conversation, I asked her, would it be okay for me to go for Lexi and come back? You know, Lexi didn't have the visa at the time either. But you know, knowing faith, I'm like, if I have it, I'm sure they'll bless Lexi with it as well. So mom said it's okay if I wanted to make that bold step, you know. She did say it wasn't an easy decision or it's not going to be easy. It's not bed of roses, but if I wanted to, her doors would be open for me to make that transition. So when it was time to, I returned home and I applied for Lexi's visa and I got Lexi's visa. I remember going to Daddy and saying to Daddy, Daddy, can you lend me some money to buy tickets now? Because mark you, I just went in August and this is now December. I had already paid for Lexi's visa and you know it wasn't cheap. It still is not a cheap process right there.
Yeah.
But to buy 2 plane fares now to come, and even though I had no intention of returning, you had to buy a round trip to leave. So I remember asking Daddy if he could help me out with some money, and he was like, no money for you, you know. Them a turn back people out of America, you know, worse all your breed. I dead stop thing that, and I was like, well, I'm gonna give it a try. And remember this: when I landed in Fort Lauderdale, December 15, 2009, my mom's friend picked us up from the airport because mommy was at work. I said, can I ask for a phone call? I just want to call my dad. And I called him and said, they not told me about that.
You're rich.
They're foreign. I'm in Fort Lauderdale and I'm okay. And he was like, job blessings, man. Go on through. So yeah.
That's good.
So what was it like emotionally, like leaving your dad back home?
Friends.
Oh, your friends. Oh, what was that like?
Well, Daddy and I wasn't close at a point, so leaving Daddy wasn't a big deal. Leaving friends like Audrey behind, my God, had I known what I know now. I mean, we never took any time for granted, rather.
People don't want us to Corey, I look dapper. Come show them Corey. God. Come man, come. Sorry, Danille.
No, that's okay.
Come,
Corey,
come show them. Come bless them.
Come on.
Come on.
I read that one.
Come right beside. Come, man.
Oh, good.
Danille, I tell them to sit down to me that great too. Danille.
You ready?
Danille.
What say?
If you not tell them, say you should have married him in a grade 2.
Oh my God, that's one different life.
All right, sorry, Danille. Before I rudely interrupted you.
No, that was fine. We needed that intermission. That was fine.
All right, so about you're leaving your dad back home and what it was like.
Yeah, so it wasn't a hard decision to leave Daddy. Lord Jesus, if it was anything else, it was a happy time to leave because you all know Henry was hard on me. But anyhow, leaving friends behind wasn't hard too because I sense like, I'm going to get an experience to be a better individual and possible be able to do better for my friends. So it wasn't hard in leaving friends behind, and friends that were really true to me, that we really kept communication. It was like I wasn't gone either.
Okay.
So we're still able to communicate. Audrey and I would chat on. I think we had Blackberries at the time when it was shared.
BBM.
Or BBM or whatever.
Yeah.
So we always communicated. Friends that were really close and genuine, we would always communicate. A lot of people would say this, boy, foreign change people, but not until they get an experience to be here for themselves to see. It's not even about change. It's just like you have to focus on what your goals are. What am I trying to achieve? Am I going to be consistently calling everybody religiously on a Sunday? I guess when I just came and I wasn't working or anything, it was easier for me to even buy a $2 phone call at the time.
Oh yeah, for real.
I make a little call over there just to say hi, me good, or email was big too at the time. I could have emailed, but you can't. For me personally, a lot of persons would have said like, boy, she dash away from she gonna find, but it's not about dash away. Me get a chance to change my life. That's what I'm going to be focusing on until I'm out where I can really help somebody else. Then you know what I mean. Ramping under mom archery. Who's Evolution? Who's that?
Nyla. That's Nyla.
Oh,
that's
Nyla is yes, girlfriend, and that still hasn't changed. Yep, a lot of that, lot of fun time.
All right, so Danille mentioned earlier, because we want to go into like the challenges that you faced like after moving here. But I know you mentioned that when you came here you were pregnant.
Yes.
So what was it like? Because at that time when you came, right, you decided that you're not going back.
Right.
But what was it like for you being a pregnant woman in the US and you decided that you're not going to go back? What was it like for you getting work and like were you living with your mom?
Yes. So I was living with mom. I lived with mom even up until Olivia was born. So when I first came now and was, to get to a clinic, like how you'd have a clinic in Gordon Town if you were pregnant and you couldn't afford to go to like UWI or, there's always an affordable clinic. So there was an affordable clinic called 7th Avenue that mommy got me to attend. And even with the big belly, they're like asking me to retake a pregnancy test. And I'm like, Jesus, I want this. And I'm keen on my belly. One pregnancy test. Like I am actually almost 9 months pregnant. You know what I mean? So I retake the test because you can't slide through. You have to follow through by their rules and regulation. It was very challenging getting to and from because I don't know around. Mommy had to work. So she would be able, say for instance, my appointment was like for 12 o'clock. I'd have to go from like 6:30 with mommy and sit down until that time because mommy had to get to work for 8 o'clock and that was the drive. So it was really hard. And that time was a cold time too. It was winter, even though Florida doesn't experience snow or anything. But I do remember that it was known that that year 2010 January was one of the coldest time in history for South Florida. I mean, very,
Oh,
very,
wow.
very cold. So, sitting outside waiting to be seen and all of that. But once it was time now to have Olivia, I almost had Olivia at my cousin's house. So I was visiting my cousin and my water broke. And I said to her, my water broke. And she's like, you got to be killing me. Mommy was at church. She was trying to call my mom. She wasn't answering her phone. She started panicking. But we went to the hospital. They checked me. I didn't start dilating yet. So they said I could do some steps and then they'll check me again. Long and short of the story, the baby wasn't ready at the time. So they sent me home, went home. Mom cooked up a storm and we ate. And then it was time. I said, Mommy, I think this time it's time to go back. We went back and my mom was blessed to be able to stand there while I gave birth to Olivia. When I arrived at the hospital, I didn't take the elevator because I mean, this is my third child. I should have some idea of what I'm experiencing, So when we arrived at the hospital, I said, Mommy, I'm not going to go into the elevator. I'm going to walk the stairs because after watching so many baby what you call it baby on the TLC station back home, I sort of learned that walking will help with your dilation and so on and so forth. So when I got to the delivery ward now, they were like, they have to do this and they have to do that. I said, sweetheart, you really don't have time to do all that you are required to do because I can feel the baby right there.
Wow.
And Mom was like patting me. She was like, Danille, take it easy. She know what she's doing. I said, Mommy, I know what I'm telling you too. So the nurse was like, oh, I got to take off my clothes. I got to sign documents and all this kind of thing. And I said, you know what? Let me do what I know best. I said, Jesus! Please help me. I holler out for Jesus right there. And I said, the baby is coming. You see, when the nurse put her hands there, she started freaking. She was like, oh my God, she's having the baby. And I'm like, I told you. I said, God, don't let anything happen to this baby. But God was on my side. Nothing happened. Mom was able to witness the baby born. And she was like, Jesus, Danilo, you're drunk. So, but I'm like, I've been down this road twice, Mom.
Yeah.
I know exactly what the feeling is like, So I had my healthy baby, Olivia. I met some amazing nurses who spoke into my life. Nurse was like, are you new to the States? You don't have much documents and da 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 da. They gave me some sound advice. I remember one nurse saying to me that being in the States, it's like a fast train. You're either gonna get on the train and go at the pace of the train, or you're gonna sit and watch the train go by. And she really gave me some sound advice, and it was just going from there wasn't easy, quite honestly, because now you have a baby. Olivia's dad was in Jamaica. As I said, it's the third father, single mom again in a new country. But Mom did the best she could for me with what she had. And the father at the time too was able to help financially at some point in the early stage of the delivery. Now it was time to get Lexi out to school because I had Lexi as well. And having a young baby, I'm not able to maneuver myself. I don't know much places. And again, Mommy has to go to work and so on and so forth. But God always has persons in place to help. So we went to church, a church that Mommy was going to, that I actually am a member of that church as well, Vision of Hope. There was a church sister there who wanted to be Olivia's godmother, and she said, you know what, I can pick you up one day after work and I'll drive around to see what school we can get Lexi into. And she was very true to her word. She did just that, and she assisted me in getting Lexi into school. And then and then a stranger who I met at the bus stop one time now after Lexi started catching the bus, she said, you don't have to come outside with the baby so early in the morning. I'll wait for Lexi downstairs and I'll walk with her to the bus stop. So God always had persons lined up to be assistants to me, and I had no idea. But
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. So did you have a plan? Like, compared, like living in Jamaica, I know you were there and stuff. Did you have a plan, and how did everything change with you, like moving here?
Right. So, mommy was filing for us, but I guess, with all her struggles as well, as she encountered on her own, maybe financially it didn't work out at the timing. So we got here. So now when we got here, again, the pastor from our church, I'm always talking, I'm always asking questions to see how I can better help myself. My plan was to, if I could go back to school, I'd take that opportunity. If I could, whatever job I could get involved with, I would do. So I had an opportunity to talk with the pastor from the church who paid for a consultation for me to speak with a lawyer who advised me that at that age, I'm 38 now and Olivia is 11. So I came here when I was 27 years old, 26, I think 26. I came here. I had my 27th birthday in 2010. Yeah, somewhere about that. So she said to me, being that I'm over 21, my mother wouldn't be able to file for me if I'm already here and out of status. So the best thing for me to do, she would encourage me to get married, And as you know, that on its own came with a challenge. All I did was go to church, go to doctor's appointment, and that's it. Mommy wasn't the mom who had time for recreational stuff. So it was just always home, church, Lexi school, drop Lexi to the bus stop. So I didn't know anybody or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But having a plan to get married now, how am I going to see somebody? All I did was stay home. A church sister again loaned me a book called It's Your Time Now by Joel Osteen. And I was reading that book. And in the book, he was talking about if you have desire to meet someone for a relationship, the person is not going to drop from the roof and say, here I am. Do you want a relationship? You have to get out there. You have to go to the mall. You have to go this. And I'm like, how the hell that's going to happen, But I started looking outside the window, stalking persons. I remember seeing this big fat whip. What was the name of the car? I think it was a Chrysler. When that I come hear the music from out at the gate and boom, rims shine up and everything. And I said, I'm not gonna road there now because if me ever talk to that one, there are whole heap of woman and clubbing and you could have just I was just judging from what I could see, from my window. And then I saw this one now, nicely dressed. Wasn't too tall, short guy, but I could tell his timing that he was going to leave and his timing he's going to come home. Stalking the man with my eyes from the window. Poor man, I don't even know. Because me have a plan, me want married, or me have to get married now look somebody, right? Nobody now see me. At the church, it was very small and everybody who not married maybe into something. So there wasn't no chance of meeting someone at church. So I remember one evening sitting down, it was time for the man to come home, and I see the man come home with him have a bag with food, and I'm like, no man, I don't want box food, that a two, must have a woman that carry food. So I said to myself, no, sir, Danille, you're not going to get no chances again. But anyhow, I remember seeing him another time, and I wrote my number down, and I said, in my heart, I'm always praying. I do, persons may question my faith, but Christianity is to what you think it is for you. I am not here to judge no one. I know that I was always communicating with God. And I was like, God, in my heart, I said, if you want this man to meet me or me to meet this man, make him sit in his car and wait for me to come with my number, right? So I wrote my number down, put Olivia down on the bed, and I walked gently downstairs, and he was still sitting in his car. I knocked his window. I was like, good morning. Brave, in the piece of paper with my phone number and asked him to call me, and he did call me. He didn't call me right away, but he did call me afterwards, and I was like, okay, my name is Danille, I'm new here. Just gave him a brief scenario about who I was and what I was involved. I just needed someone to talk to or whatever. So I remember mommy had cooked up her Sunday dinner the Sunday evening now, and I invited the man for lunch. Girl, mommy Sunday, Monday, what she had prepared for cooking with back for dinner. If we could have just invite the man over and give him some of this food, and we can have a conversation or whatever. And I did just that when he came, me share out the dinner. I never give him too much, and me just share it for me and him. We had a conversation. So that's how I kicked it off with talking to him. We started going on a few dates, and then I had to just tell him what it is, what my plan was. I said I'd love to find somebody that would marry me and to help me and da 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 da. And he's like, he was married before. He was just coming out of a divorce, and his plan is when he gets married again, that's going to be for final. Anyhow, we did got married, and here comes the process starting now to change my status in being in the States. That no, but should I even before I even went there, because you did ask about work. My first job in the States was a referral from family members in Jamaica who knew the Munns family here. And being that I was already working for Mr. Munns at the coffee factory, it sort of paved the way and opened a door for me to get a job with his uncle, or I don't even remember if it's his uncle, who needed some home health aid assistance. And that's how I was able to started working. Work for him for a bit. Or no, I think I've gone too far. Who remember Damien from Top Road? Dog Paw?
Oh yeah.
So my first job was with Dog Paw. Put it that, yes. Dog Paw
Danille, was that when you had the yellow
no,
car?
man, the yellow car no come in yet. The yellow car when you're the yellow car. Me I walk foot. My first job was with Dog Paw. He was traveling to Jamaica and he had his own business and he wanted someone to, hold his phone. He forwarded his office phone to my phone. I was able to do his work from home. It was all electronic and so on. So I did that. And when he came back and how I wrote my report, he was so impressed. He's like, oh my God, you're so detailed and he liked that. He proposed to give me a job. It didn't fall into place immediately. So I now got a job with the Munns family. Not working for a while, you don't have any money. I need to find a babysitter. Mommy's working. How to get to work. When I got the job, my pastor heard again that I got the job. He asked where was the job. I told him. He worked in another city. So I think the job was in Pembroke Pines. He works in another city, which would have been Miramar. So it was that he has to pass where I'm going. So he offered to give me a ride, but I had to meet him. When I tell you, God always have it all planned out, right? So to get to where he is, he wants me to meet him for, I think, 8 o'clock in the morning. My journey started from 5 a.m. because I had to get up, catch the bus at 5:15. If me leave home 5:10, me I go miss the bus. Even though I live close to the bus, it was religiously on time. So I had to catch the first bus at 5:20, get off of that bus, wait for the next bus, and then catch. So I took 3 buses and then walked 25 minutes to go drop off Olivia to the babysitter. Then walk back 25 minutes to go catch the bus in the direction to go wait for my pastor to get a ride with him to get to work for 9 o'clock. So, traveling from 5 o'clock, me already exhausted even before me go to work because I'm now walking with Olivia in her, what you call that now? Her little carry-on. I tried to use the stroller, but these bus people is so bougie in Florida, honey. They wanted to close the stroller, want to take the baby out of it. And I get it, taking up space, preventing accidents and all of that. But sometimes, even if it's early in the morning, I may just go out to the next stop. Come on, man, I can't slide. So it was really annoying. So I started not taking the stroller, but walking with Olivia in my hands. Then again, one morning I met Damien. Apparently, Damien had lived in a dog paw. I'd lived in an apartment close by, and he saw me walking. He pulled over and asked me where I was going and gave me a ride with Olivia. I dropped us off, and he's like, "Listen, man, it's gonna be easy. You will soon get a little car, but just go and tough it out and whatever." It became so stressing to do that because I'm leaving home 5 a.m. in the morning and I'm not getting back home till way outside the night, maybe like 7 o'clock, based on the commutes that I have to take, the bus route. I remember one morning when I dropped off Olivia and the tears was just rolling because she never used to babysitting and all of that too. The babysitter said, when you get to work and settle down, I'm going to call you. I said, sure, no problem. It's an older lady from the church where mommy was going. And she called me and she said, you can talk. She called me around 10 o'clock and I said, sure. She said, if somebody did tell you, say, don't run off, you'd have said, in bad mind, I don't want to, they are fire. Not true. And I said, you're right. And I'm going to be honest. Of course,
Yeah.
they didn't know want me to get the experience too. She said, well, since you chose to make that decision to stay, you're going to pull up your big girl underwear and you are going to toughen up your skin and do what you need to do to get where you need to go. So even though it was very hard in terms of living with my mom became difficult too. I guess, and mommy and I had a conversation recently about this, and she said, you know what, Danielle, the Bible can never be wrong. When you're lack knowledge, you are going to perish. Mommy didn't know how to handle some situations that she was going through, and then dealing with extra mouths to feed in the house, your bills, increasing the bills and all of that. So her intentions were in our eyes at the time, like, God know my mother, yeah, deal with me. So like you can't sympathize, but not seeing it from her perspective on it that she was going through, you know what I mean? But God always had persons who believed in me and who encouraged and motivate me along the way to keep my head high and go through. Not sure if you guys wanted to ask more questions, but in terms of marriage now, Christina and Corey and Nolan. Okay.
No man, we're there here.
We're there, man.
See you where.
No problem. So when I got married now, you know, this is where the status will get adjusted by getting married to a US citizen. My husband wasn't a US citizen at the time when we got married. So we did got married and he put in his documents afterwards. I assisted him to fill out the forms and all of that good stuff. No, I think he filled it out. He I don't even remember the process. It's been so freaking long. But when it was time to like come up with the money to pay for my documents, girlfriend never have nothing. Like Olivia was a citizen, so he was able to file for Olivia for me. Poor me no know about taxes and them thing like that. I think he gave me $1,000. You get $1,000 in there and you feel rich, you know, no money, not me bless who me can bless a Jamaica out of it, not thinking that I'm gonna really need this money to pay for my documents, you know. Anyhow, I did what I was able to do and I became short. The money was short now. I actually sent in the documents knowing that the money wasn't the complete. And they sent back the documents with corresponding that they needed. You know, I was short. I think I was short like $600 and something. And I spoke to my pastor and I'm like, you know, this is where I am. I don't have no more money. And he's like, you try to call your father? And I'm like, Daddy, I don't know Daddy have them kind of money right now. You know, I mean, I know I didn't know Daddy finances like that, but I knew Daddy was just like a mechanic, you know. He doesn't have any proper job right now or whatever it is. And I called Daddy and I said, Daddy, I'm doing my documents and I'm short this amount of money. And he said, boy, I mean, I have all right, you know, but me can't send this by X time. And I was like, wow, I was blown away that he sent the money. And then a family member called me the day and she said, my dad wants to send you $200, which name I send it in. And that was the exact money that I needed to square it off. And that's how I got the money. So even though I was married, it wasn't no, he was an older guy for me. Remember, the man never see me from Adams. I saw the man. So whatever I'm going to get, I am willing to take it because I know what I want. But in my heart, if I could have made something out of that marriage, I would have really wanted it to be a success because Mark is 3 kids now, single. So if we can have a family together, that would have been amazing. But he was just a whole nother person on his own. He thinking about it, I'm like, my God, why didn't I wait? But then if I'd waited, what would have been my results?
That's true.
I had friends that visited me, and when she came, say for instance, I had bargained for her to spend the weekend. She left after the second night. She was like, if I stay in your house one more night, I'm gonna kill that man.
Wow.
He was so embarrassing. He manipulated me in every way he possibly could. You know, I felt like he didn't put his hands on me, but he destroyed my emotions. He was emotionally abusive. with his words, with his actions. I said sometime every time they put him hands from me and lick me. You know what I mean? But you know, growing with my grandmother in Jamaica, the terms that she used, sometimes you have to suck salt through wooden spoon.
Yeah.
For real.
And she would say things like that. But then when I was going through my process, you know, while I was listening last week and the guy was talking about his many struggles and how he walked and all that. I'm like, boy, so many similarities in stories. Not all of us are gonna have the same story, but guarantee everybody that transition, especially when you have to get married for a green card or whatever, you have to go through some stories, some good, some not so good. But blessed be God, I remember walking. What would have taken me 25 minutes by car took me 4 hours to get home, right?
Wow.
And my husband literally could have taken a little break from work and come and pick me up and take me to home, but he did not. He said, listen, he was one of those, we call it now, crabby kind of attitude person. Was like, me can't leave work, you know, money was everything to my husband then. Me not left my work to come carry home. Started the journey walking. Started walking. When I got to an hour into the walking to get to the bus stop, I was like, no, son, the bus stop not near right here, so my God, where may I go? Walk and walk, the rain started pouring. I never had an umbrella. By the time I got to the bus stop, I was soaking wet. When I got on the bus, I could have just stood up on the bus, get off the bus, and walk it home again. Walk it home. Lexi opened the door. Oh my God, mommy, what happened? I'm like, I can't even begin to talk right now. It was just in time. Take a shower to head out to school. By this, I was doing cosmetology. I got enrolled in a cosmetology school, the only school that would have taken you without a social security at the time. So I said, let me go and learn something, you know, the time that I had. And that's how I started going back to school to do something just for a peace of mind. I got pregnant for my husband, and my husband thought that baby was from my mother's boyfriend at the time. The way in which he treated us, like he was so sweet to us, my mom's boyfriend at the time. He really loved us. He saw that we were hurt kids who really needed somebody to love us, and he was just doing all that he could to just make us feel happy and welcome. My husband was that jealous type who think that that's not love. Somebody don't, you know, we don't deserve love then or whatever. He was very strong, very disgusting, charming. And I hope Rochelle is there. Rochelle was my backbone during that time. Rochelle was, I mean, listen, me no care no put we out because we call each other like, I mean, Rochelle was my peace of mind, my sanity. Me ball to Rochelle, Rochelle cried to me, and I'm like, we just encourage each other along the way. She's like, girl, one day we're gonna get strong. One day we're gonna be able to look back on these days and say that had it not been God. And today I can say that, you know, it's not easy, but had it not been God. When I got pregnant that time, I lost the baby for my husband. I had a miscarriage. Went to the hospital. First of all, I called him. I said, listen, I'm not feeling well. He didn't even turn the black of his eye, honey. My mom had to leave work. My mom came and took me to the hospital. And then he came afterwards. And then he was like, what's wrong? What happened to you? What happened to the baby? And I'm like, I mean, the baby is no longer here. I had a miscarriage, you know, and he's like, you know, I had a rough day. I'm hungry. I'm going to go get my food and whatever. Yes, Rochelle, look at us now, baby girl. See, she's here. I know there's always a witness, because anything that I'm saying here tonight, when I thought about it, I said, coming onto the live tonight, what is my goal in telling my story? It's not about bashing my husband, because I have forgiven him, but it's for others to know that coming to America, it's not easy. And you will see the glitter and the glamour, but we had to go through some thorns. We had to step on some thorns to get through where we are. There was a point when I started going back to Jamaica, I didn't care 1 red cent who would have want to call me broke foreigner, or she just come to dress up and not what. You don't know what I've been through to be here today. Okay, so let me enjoy my moment of getting a break from working 3-4 jobs if I had to. My kids suffered. My kids never even know me at a point, because I've been just coming from home to work, home, from work to work. I remember coming home one day, hoping that this is the evening I'm going home to rest. As I put the keys into the door and opened the door, my phone rang. I was working for an agency at the time. Daniel, we have an assignment for you. What's your location? I'm like, I just opened my front door. I haven't even stepped in. They're like, you have to get there in 15 minutes. I'm like, oh my God. I said, Lexi, I'm so sorry, but mommy has to go. And I just turn around with the tears. Marky, I wasn't driving at the time, so Nolan asked about the car now. So being married and y'all learn, my husband never taught me anything. Anything I knew by mistakes that I've made or persons that spend the time to talk to me and tell me things. So filing taxes over the years now, I was able to get some change. They give you credits for the kids and all of that. I was able to buy the car. The yellow car, Jesus have mercy. Before I even got that yellow car, Nolan, I was watching TBN and the gentleman was talking about faith. He was like, sometimes you really want something, you have to act on crazy faith. You want the car? I believe he was speaking to me from the TV. He says, you want the car? Sometimes you have to sit down in your seat and just go on like you turn the steering and
just start driving.
May I tell you, just start drive. And I went outside the evening into one of those parking spots, with my house key, and I was like, prip, 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 prip. And the neighbor coming from work, she said, Jesus, the Asian man, I'm mad, Danille, she out the door, prip, prip. But little did she know, said Danille, I manifest our car at the time, girl. I'm out there at reverse, and I'm looking at rear view mirror and all these things. But girlfriend, saw this yellow car, and I was destined that I was gonna get the car. We went house hunting. We were trying to buy a house at the time, but me wanted the car more than anything else. Because by this now I can drive, had my license, but my husband's car was his wife. I wish that man had treated me the way he treated that his car. Wow. His car, the way we spent time to wash it and wipe it down. You couldn't eat in there. Girlfriend, when him even pick up Olivia from the daycare for me occasionally, soon him pick her up, him fling the car seat in at the back, certain things, want a leather interior, and like, when you're frightened. Me carry my Jamaica, honey. So when we got married, the story just go all over the place. But I open
that's
story. Your story, tell it how you want to tell it.
Right. So get documents now, girl. That time, the lace front never in them time, but them ear, the ear we could have buy the ear store and them all make the baby ear for you. I think it was lace front, but not the modern or the expensive kind of lace front, girl. Then you'll work up our money from Subway, hustling, come here, make sandwich like crazy. My first job was, after we get the papers of my first job was at Subway, girlfriend. Danille, I feel independent now. Phone bill due. My husband used to help me to pay my phone bill. My phone bill was $60 with Metro. Girl, phone bill due now. So I say, yes, I have my job. I don't need my husband to pay it so I can feel independent. After I work 3 weeks, when the paycheck come and I say $40-something, I say, me nearly dropped.
Jesus, please.
Me nearly dropped down in the parking lot. I said, Jesus Christ, how am I going to manage? But anyhow, it got better from there. The next week, the money kept on growing and growing. And out of that, I saw someone in a uniform, and I asked her, like, where are you working? And she told me how she started out. I saved from my Subway money, sent myself to school and did that home Sane course. And then I started working in the Sane field. The first job that I got in the Sane field was able to pay me what I paid for school. I said, yes, so nice. Me not want Subway. Me not want Subway could change no more. So I branched off into home health care now, and I started doing my thing over there. But before I even go there, so the kind of jobs that Danille used to do: clean house, wash bathroom, walk dog, no matter what it is, to get my pit them something to eat, I am going to do what I have to do. So wherever the job is, I went. So I did the job with Mr. Munn's family. He was now requiring more care. He was deteriorating and wanted more care. And I remember he wanted someone to live in with him. And I said, unfortunately, I'm married. My husband is not going to allow me to do a living job. They even want me to come out here, come work as a matter of fact. But I got to do what I got to do. And he died. But being who I am and how I worked for his family kept on looking out for me. And they would call me and give me jobs to clean their bathrooms, You know, them could have do better, but yes, still do. There's no shade, honey. When we go to the bathroom and me get my chum change, me good and me gone. But one thing I must say, out of my little that I used to get, I always paid my tithes. I remember one weekend when I got my money, it was just enough to pay the babysitter. She said to me, said, Danielle, me can't even take the money, but through me want it, I'm going to take it from you because I said that you really didn't work much. She took the money, and by the Sunday, someone blessed me with $50.
Wow.
And it was just always blessing. So for me, I try to give spontaneously because I know the power of giving. The more you give, the more you receive unexpectedly. And people have always poured into my life. Going to church, I remember one time this lady saw a need and she tried out of her kind heart to offer Lexi her shoes that she wore. And she gave Lexi the shoes. Poor Lexi foot big. Lexi foot bigger than the shoes. But just to show her appreciation and how humble Lexi is, Lexi squeeze up her poor shoes and go to church. Just to see the lady, if you say, thank you, I like the shoes.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have nothing else, somebody give something to you feel good and you want them feel good too. But now me and Lexi can look back at it and say, boy, mommy, the things that we undergo and whatever it is, you know. So the marriage wasn't easy, but I learned a lot from being married to my husband. And I never gave up on myself. I knew what I wanted and I went for it. When my father visited me, I never had to tell Daddy I was having problems with my marriage. He used the term the last time he visited us in Florida before. He said, you're in a lion mode, take time, dry it out. And I'm like, wow, how could Daddy tell? Daddy never heard us argue, but I guess he was very observant of how things was going, right? So mentally, boy, sometimes I feel like mother gonna spliff, talk truth. Sometimes I feel like mother drink some big quarter white rum. But then I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, what is it going to solve? It's just going to be bad. But I held out. So ask me some question because we just a chat too much right now. Ask me some things.
So wait, Beverly is saying that she wants to hear about you and your husband coming to
yes, girl. Of course, good in me. I can't my Jamaica and make this man sister me come from somewhere. Okay. So Shani and Jamie. Okay.
Thank you, Shani and Johnny.
Thank you, guys. So I took my husband to Jamaica, right? And oh my God, that poor man was so fussy, but he was happy. We all knew how to take care of him. Daddy made sure he had food all the time, and a hotel plan, and all of this, and then some. Took him around. We went to Montego Bay, and we had fun showing him to Jamaica. When I went to Haiti, his mom died, and I had to go to Haiti now. Different ball game, but it's not about comparison. But it was just glad that girlfriend get her papers, and me did I tell her oh me go at the ear store and do up my ear and girl ready to fly and touch down and be things. Just see my family, women just see for a long time, girl get status in America and girl can't travel. So we had a good time in Jamaica, and he had a good time meeting and interacting with my family too. I have no regrets in that. And he and my daddy is still good friends to this day. And he and I talk, we haven't talked much in the last couple of months, but me and my husband, my ex-husband is okay.
So was that the first time that you went back to Jamaica after getting the papers?
Yes, that was the first. Yes, that was never too long. So I came 2009 and then we went back 2012. So it was what, 2-3 years?
Oh, it wasn't too long.
Back, so it wasn't too long, right?
How did you feel though, like going back home, seeing your father, seeing family, friends?
What? Feel good, honey. Me could have done them something there, Lord Jesus. Remember, it was a black and white shirt. Me did wear go down. I ear do up. I think me did lashes. Me don't know if me did have on lashes. Me never remember. But girl, they just feel bougie, like traveling. Yeah, I felt really good. I felt proud of myself that I was able to return to show Daddy one day. Name told me back for true Daddy and see your girl is doing all she said that she wanted to do. She wanted to change. I wanted to change a scene. I wanted to make something out of my life. Now me married, me feel like saying on my wife's status. Yeah. Ring palm finger and beard things. You never want you about the ring will change in a week, Lord.
Lord God.
What different story. Girl, yes, man, my wedding ring did change after a week. A cheap ring my husband. Lord Jesus, no, we can't have them kids up on TV.
Oh my God.
It's a popcorn ring.
Oh my God, I don't have the mall with the buy down a lot of hill mall. Jesus and oh God, let's not go there. No. But I want a good ring, okay?
Oh, all right. So there's a question here from, and I think there's another one from Life with Casey that I'm gonna ask closer to the end that I wrote down. But Kadeen is saying, how did you manage to stay sane within that marriage?
Girl, it was hard to stay sane. Because no matter what you do for my husband, he was just never appreciative of anything. I learned to cook his Asian meals because he was Haitian. Some things that I cook, and my kids them would say after dinner, they outgrow the stage of them now, but them always like, how much we give mommy out of 10 for dinner tonight? And he sometimes would be like 4, 3. And my son used to be like, you're such a hater, like 3, like really,
Yeah.
I mean, mommy did great tonight, and my kids that always motivate me. So staying sane was all because of my kids. And I still work a lot to this day, but I work smarter these days.
Mm-hmm.
But working was my escape.
Therapy.
Because being home, it was just always. I used to tell people that it's embarrassing to say, but I felt like I was his maid. I felt like I was his cheap, what he gets at night. Because I denied him, even though there was a time I did sleep in the guest room for at least 3 months. And he used to come knock the door and ask if we can help him out. I'm like, with what? Go to your bed. Go to your bed. But, you're vexed about certain things, so yeah, well, harden or whatever it is. But my kids help me to stay sane, and working a lot helped me to not think about the situation. If I can tell you though, when it was time now to get the green card, can you go through the process and went for the interview and then you're waiting now to get your green card before I was able to fly? I remember feeling so pressured that Sunday morning, and I said to myself, I said, God, when I come home from church this evening, you see that stroller there? Anything where it can hold, I eat me a pop and me I hit Fort Lauderdale Street because I've just had enough with this marriage.
Yeah.
Tired, me not feel good, me not happy. There was a time I did ball off my head in the marriage. Things say I'm mad, things say somebody attacked me, I tell me say to cut off my ear and cut up my clothes and all of these kind of things, right? So when it was time now, that Sunday when me done tell God, say when me come from church, me I go move out. We went to church, me and my husband, he visited my church sometime and I visited his church. His church spoke only Creole and I didn't understand. I never felt like I was worshiping. I just went to feel like a wife going to church with the husband.
Yeah.
When he comes to my church, we speak English, so he can, he can understand what's going on there. And that particular Sunday in church, I remember it was about to close. Church was about to close, and the pastor said, I just can't. To this day, this is the first time I'm speaking this on live, and maybe the pastor may be listening to hear. At some point, he will watch this because he's on Facebook. But I heard the pastor saying, I just can't close. I can't move from where I am. It's time to pronounce the benediction, but I can't move from where I am. And he said, thus saith the Lord, it's not yet time to leave. Samir, stress. I'm here to talk to God. I don't want nobody hear me. I'm like, God, I'm here to talk to. And the pastor said, I'm speaking to a matrimonial home right now. It's not time to leave. And I said, Jesus Christ. All right, God, I hear you. I'm going home. Went home. And that evening when I went home, my husband said he was going to go visit his auntie. That's where our mail would go because we never had an apartment at the time. So our mails went to his family's house. I noticed that I could not see if my green card was delivered, but I was expecting it around that time, right? Went to his auntie's house because he would have collected the mails during the week because his aunt worked outside for like a little living job and things like that. When I went to his auntie's house, I said to her, did you get any mail for us this week? And she said, no, your husband would have picked up any mail that was here. When me tell her, say, God is an amazing God. So he was hoping to see the USCIS envelope. I don't know about immigration. I don't know envelopes there. God never sent my green card in that envelope, honey. So my husband was strict. He saw the envelope and did not even recognize that that was my mail. His auntie said, "Oh, Danielle, here's an envelope for you, but maybe it's junk mail or something." She handed the envelope. Girl, it was me, Alexi Green card. You see, my husband did catch hands on those.
You wouldn't have gotten it.
Only God knows what would have happened.
Wow.
So God has always been looking out. What's the next question?
Well, my question is kind of twist because it's Valentine's Day and thing.
Mm-hmm.
As it relates to dating, Haitian versus Jamaican.
Oh, Jesus, I drink something.
No, what kind of problem you have with Danille?
A twist, it's Valentine's Day, so.
Of course. Now, say I'm being authentic. Ask.
Yeah.
You know, cultural differences, all of that. Tell us about Haitian versus Jamaican.
Oh my God! If I should compare, first of all, oh gosh, my husband was Haitian. He was older. The persons that I used to date before was younger persons, because Lexi's dad is my age group. Olivia's dad maybe am I older or younger? Maybe by 2 years, but not far apart. But the experience, I don't. Why it's rough to explain how it is. It's a whole different thing. I see people blame Jamaican men, but you just have to find the right Jamaican man, to be honest. Because everywhere you go, it have its good and its bad, right? Jamaican bad, Asian bad. And just like earlier this evening, my girlfriend was telling me of her amazing Haitian baby dad. And I'm like, God did give me the worst one because me can't speak like how she's speaking. So I guess to each his own, and it all depends on the person too. Because he may be bad for me, and he may meet another Jamaican and them kick it off at a different high. You know what I mean? So it all varies, Nolan.
All right.
You never know what love is when it come on to all Valentine's Day. And my mother used to buy me flowers and drop on my yard until I think maybe one time after that it did bring. My name set you up, Danille. Thought the thing on. Nobody can set me up, honey. Oh, they can't set me up no more.
So Danille, at what point because you got your green card, right? Yes. You got your green card, and then like what was it like for you, like leaving that marriage and then like moving on
to okay.
Yeah.
So when I got the green card, because it came in stages. I got the 2 years first, right? And I went on and I'm like hoping for change. Like, my gosh, now that I get my green card, maybe he's going to treat me better or whatever it is. Things didn't change for the better. Things was up and down. I'm not saying that all days were bad days, but not every day. The bad outweighed the good, because I didn't leave my husband because he was a bad husband. I left my husband because of the bad father figure example that I had for my kids. I felt Lexi called me one night and she said, "You know what? I'm going to jail. I am going to kill this man and go to jail." Listen, I was on an overnight job. Me turn idiot. What the hell me I gonna do? How me I gonna come out and I was with David. I wish I could have scooped up David and his wife and put in my car and go rectify whatever it is. But he always just nitpick at the kids for the simplest things that would have caused an argument. I know I could have tolerated being a bad husband, because at some point he would have changed, hopefully. But because of how he treated my kids, him and Lexi and Jan never get on at all. Olivia was the young baby, so she just mellow into things. But it was very hard in terms of with my husband. So I got the 2 year, and then I got the 10 year after the 2 year was expired. And I think having bought the house together, and he started his business, his tax business and thing like that, there was hope for change. You know what I mean? Daddy was visiting more. Mommy was understanding more of the things that I was going through, and she was trying to be present in her own little way. But it was just difficult for me to cope with my husband. And I said to him at one point, like, Belange, listen, I have my 10 years green card right now. I can leave at any point. Aren't you gonna change your ways? Don't you think that really need to work on some things? That man, that didn't change the man. I remember the first time I was able to take a vacation with all my kids. So even though I got the green card, I traveled by myself. I didn't take Lexi at the time. It was me alone who went down. So no, I worked and I saved up some money, and I'm like, you know what? My husband is not the one that sees the need for a vacation, but I work too hard. I'm gonna take some time off with my kids. And we went to New York for a few days, and my cousin said to me, I'll never forget this word. She says, I had a conversation with your kids, and when you can't find a next man, you can't get back the same kid. So you need to know what you're gonna do. And I came home, and the first day upon arriving from our trip, my husband made us wait, I think, almost 2 hours at the airport before he picked us up. He was just this miserable son of a gun that was
my God.
like, I mean, you haven't seen your wife and your stepkids for a few days. You should have been here waiting before
that's true.
So that was just like strengthen my cousin's words, like, you really need to do something. She didn't tell me to leave my husband, but when I came home, I guess I needed clarity. So that time away I was able to make some decision, like, you know what, there's much more to life. There's much more to life than living like this. So I came home. I was looking for somewhere to move, and I didn't know how to really go about it. But my mom had some space in our house, and I said, Mom, I'm asking if I can rent one of the rooms with my kids for a while. And she said, sure, it's available, no problem. And my kids and I stayed in that one room. Me, Lexi, and Jaime came and dried on my panty in Olivia look out, Jaime look on. You go to the bathroom. I want to use the bathroom. It was just such a tight thing, but we made it work because mommy knew what she was about, right? So I endured, I think, 6 months in that room, and during that time I was looking, and my best friend's sister had bought this place and was renting it, and the lady, she was getting more, like what she was asking for, someone had offered her more, but because she knew me, she said, you know what, I'll take it. I couldn't afford to pay what she was asking, but we worked out something, and that's how I was able to move on. So then I felt like, things are move on for me. I think that was 2015, one of my best financial year. I thought that I did very well. I had put in a lot of work, and I knew exactly where I was going now. I was ready to go back to do phlebotomy because I wanted to become a phlebotomist. I wanted to get into the hospital to do some work there because my main goal was to become a nurse at some point. So I was more focused. So even though it was challenging to move on, I worked like a Dickens, saved the money, got my own space. I remember when I got my apartment, my cousin said, don't take the kids tonight. Leave them at your mom, and you go and sleep into your apartment. You work too hard for this. You deserve to enjoy some space by yourself. And we moved into the house. We never had anything. No beds, no anything at all. I think I had a blow-up bed that we had used by my mom's house, and I took that with us. But what we had peace, we had joy. It was Christmas. Someone gave me a Christmas tree, and we put up the Christmas tree at the empty house. But we were just so happy. It was a 3-bedroom house, so everybody had their own room, bathroom, and we were just so grateful. Like, God, you're really showing out. So even though it wasn't hard to leave. At first, it was like, am I doing the right thing? And looking back at it, I said to myself, you know what? I should have stayed until I was able to save more and buy a house versus moving out and to go and pay rent. But when you just need to get out of the place, they get out. When I left, my son documents weren't processed yet because I'd filed for me and Lexi first, and then my son after. And when I moved out, my son documents started processing. And I was like, Jesus Christ, how am I going to do this now? You think him going to help me out now to get my son papers? Because Marty was still married. He's still the person helping. Listen now. I remember cooking that Sunday. And I called him and I said, I'd like to speak to you and I'm coming over. And he said, sure, because at this point he might tell me if I come home and me, you know, I have to leave and whatever. But come home to what, honey? What changes
That's true.
for me? Girl, I remember now said giant paper at stake. Me now move back home, but I'm still his wife legally, right? We separate, girl. The best sex ever that Sunday. What? When I met giant papers, chandelier. he had no idea that it was like, gosh, what is happening? Like, you know, but poor thing. One thing I know, we will play the game until it's time.
Yeah.
It takes two to tumble. But when men think say them smarter than women, we done maths it out 2 times before.
Long time.
Long time.
So, and that's how I was able to get my son's document through him.
Okay, guys. So I have to take an intermission break. I'm gonna hand it over to Nolan. I'm back.
Okay, sure. You think we can ask the question until you come back?
Oh,
Yes.
What was the
Okay,
question
so Nolan,
again?
ask the question.
Guys, I hope y'all are tuned in. We're gonna ask a question. Our host, our the beautiful Danille, she has another giveaway for someone else. Oh, before me we get this up, Mr. Rochelle comment. Rochelle, Dean say you should come on the show. I think you should put an answer right down in the comment because you claim you're shy. She claims she's shy, not Danille. You think she's shy?
I should have me and Rochelle.
You think she's shy?
Shy where?
You think she's shy?
Rochelle, which part are you shy? Show me. Show me where, Rochelle, where?
She need for answer. She comment. She claims she's shy, and
Shy
we think she
where?
need to come on the show. So I think we all need an answer.
Yes, Rochelle, you need to be out here.
Yeah. She claims she's shy. But jumping on to the question now, people.
Yes.
While we're waiting for Rochelle to get back.
Paying attention.
So we appreciate you guys. First and foremost, we appreciate you guys, everyone that tuned in to us on a Sunday, everyone that even watched the rebroadcast. We appreciate it. We love you guys, right? And we want to do this giveaway. We're just going to ask an easy question. Easy.
Very easy.
For the person that can tell us tonight's live, including tonight's live, this is gonna be our what number live?
Yes. What number?
What number are we at?
Yes. Come on, you're getting some bucks.
Oh, Rochelle said, tell Dean my shy bad.
Nobody
Nadine said, because you're strong.
Thank you, Nadine. You know, so we're a trooper.
Rochelle said, everywhere. I'm laughing.
Rochelle goes, 23, close, but not.
23, no.
Yeah, very close.
Close, but no.
10.
No,
Life with
very
Casey,
far.
no, Casey, more than 10.
No.
Not 10.
10.
Not 10.
No, almost
22 round.
22. 45. Not yet, Mr. Brown. Not yet.
No,
but we're getting there.
45 is too high.
Yes.
Too high.
No.
No, not 24.
Somebody get it.
Life with Casey says 21.
No.
Delisha says no. Beverly says 18.
Almost.
We got a winner.
Kadeen is actually the first person that commented 20.
So get her information. I am sending you the and you know how to.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm selling you right now, Christina. So you guys maybe have a way in which you can do it.
Get it to her. Yeah, we will. So guys, this was all Danille's idea. She wanted to bless somebody, 2 persons for Valentine's Day. So we decided just before the live started that this is what we're going to do in order to,
But this is all out of appreciation for you guys.
Yeah.
For just sticking it out with us. Just to show some appreciation. You know it go. Today is Valentine's Day.
Yes.
You're spending it tonight with us.
Yes.
Yeah, could have been anywhere
It could have
else.
been anywhere. I know if you're in Jamaica, you have curfew at 8 o'clock. So you
Right.
don't have a choice too.
Yeah, but I
But
said you said it before.
She did.
Well, I don't know, because how it's showing up on our end.
Okay, Christina, I sent it over to you, so
Thank
you
you,
are.
darling. So Beverly, how it's showing up on our end is
it's
Kadeen
Kadeen
first,
first.
and then you after.
Like it's the same time, 8:40.
But yeah, that's true.
Well, guess what? Guess what? I'm just going to add one more for Beverly. It's okay. The blessing
Aw.
reigns. So I am going to send for
That's so amazing. Guys, you see how amazing Danille is? She's truly amazing.
That's right. We appreciate you, Daniel. We appreciate
I
you coming
appreciate
on.
you guys too for giving me this opportunity to share. Some person says Valentine's, we could have talked about love, of course, but you know what? Love
We
comes
wanted
in
to be
different ways and different forms. And
yeah.
tonight, this is how I'm sharing. Next time you
Yeah.
come here, you never know, maybe Buddha.
Right? So I'm back. Okay, guys.
Back in living
Back
colors.
in living colors. So so when Danielle came on, she started talking about, how she moved, when she moved, and like for her, it's a little different because she moved with her children here, right? And then she talks about some of the things that she went through, like in her marriage and so on and so on. So, and I know you're talking about church, like the church too. So it seems like being at the church, it kind of helped.
Yeah.
Helped you a lot, right?
It sure did. Being up and just the church was very small, so everybody know your business. Put it this way, no matter how you try. When I came too, I must add this, that when I came, remember I'm coming into a new place. When we're pregnant in Jamaica, you're preparing to go to the hospital. You have your baby bag packed and everything. So I was like, my best friend to date, her and I had baptized when I came in August to visit mommy, and I didn't want it to go back to Jamaica. I said I'm going to be baptized and get baptized before going down. So she and I kept in communication. So when I came back, I was talking to her. I was like, what do I need to pack in my bags to go to the hospital? She's like, girl, this is not Jamaica. You just go to the hospital, want to start feel pain, everything I got there for you. I'm like, what the hell? Like, okay, so what they did, they organized a baby shower for me at church. And also, I was working at the factory before I leave Jamaica, and they also arranged a beautiful shower for me too, and they were able to bless me. Some, I think, gave monetary gifts, some gave things that I could take, like a baby bottle, a nice card, and so on. So when I came, the church had a baby shower for me. One thing I can tell you, the heart of giving. People has helped me even from Jamaica to save some people. But you know what I dislike? People that help you and them things say you something.
For real.
If God did place it in your heart to bless me, and I'm in a position now where I can pour a blessing back into you, I'm not going to shy away from that. But don't show with your pot of fire and things. Say, oh, me used to do this to Danille when she did there. You know much time me used to send next to go beg a ride from bus and learn something there. Me no want none of them driver than nothing. Whoever did give her a ride, God bless you. Whoever bless me financially or whatever it is, bless you. It's no time, and that's why I whatever opportunity I get, I sprinkle blessings wherever I go, because it comes back in 100-fold.
Yeah, that's true. That's
even
true.
And even if I don't get it, my kids will get it. So church really helped. Having a strong church family, a small church family to talk to, persons that could actually identify with what I was going through, because they were once immigrants, who needed to get them status, who encouraged me and tell me how to do different things and all of that. So being a part of Vision of Hope Church of God was really a great blessing for me during that time.
Like what advice would you give someone who was like a female?
Can you see me?
From a male spirit? Huh?
Can you see me? Because I had to flip my screen. My back.
Oh yeah, we can see you.
Yeah.
Cool.
So like what advice? Maybe come over a little bit more to the
This way.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
So, what advice would you give someone who is planning on, like moving here and they don't know, like what's the first thing that they should do, or, they're having second thoughts about coming, not even just to America, but moving,
Where
let's say to, or anywhere. What
right.
advice would you give that person?
As I would say this, you have to have a plan, as Jay would say. If you don't have a plan, the Bible even tell you that to write your vision and make it plain. So if you have a plan, you know exactly what you're going after. For me, I didn't have anything written, but I had it here. I knew exactly
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
wanted. Because I want to proudly say tonight that I started off from having a 10-year visa, then a 2 years green card, and then a 10 years green card to now a citizen of the United States of America. So
Woohoo!
it is here for anyone, but do this for yourself. Don't do it because friends or people are tell you, oh, yeah, man, you can't come a foreign, me a place where you stay, because I've
Yeah.
heard and I've seen horror stories. People who make all these big promises, and when them come, not a family to help them, who not turn them back
Yeah,
false
that's true.
promises, and who don't want to for you to do more than you really can do. You know what I mean? Picture you're just coming from Jamaica and you don't have no money, but them expect you must contribute to rent and all that kind of thing. So have a plan and know exactly what you want. Do some research on how you can, what you need to do step by step to achieve those plans that you're having. I would not discourage anyone at this point who would like to travel and start life here in America, because it is here for you. It may not be easy. I
Yeah.
have friends who traveled here and them don't know what struggles is. When they talk about born with
Yeah,
old
for real.
spoon in their mouths, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
For
not
real.
because I struggle, you may not have to struggle. And I do pray that all the struggles that I encountered with obtaining my green card and all of that, that you will never have to go through those things, that God will just have it paved smoothly for you. But when you
Yeah.
come, try to remember where you're coming from and lend a helping hand. We can't help and save the world, but if you can help someone along the way, do that.
Do
And
it.
that's
Yeah.
that's the things that I would say.
And Danille, because
Yeah.
I kept up with your story, I read your testimonies on Facebook a lot of times, and I say Danille really strong. So, and you're gonna be the one to tell the story. So you got your 10 year, 3 kids. You were still married. The house, you got the house. You guys had the
We
business, the
have
tax
no
business.
house, nothing. We not have nothing. When I was divorcing my husband, honey, thinking that I had a property, even though I was heading in, I divorced him, right? Me find him, me left him. Okay. So I am proud to say it, of course, because I did well in what I did, right? He could
Yeah.
have said I did not do good by him. But when I was getting divorced, the lawyer said if we do have any properties or children together, it's going to take a longer time. But if we don't have anything, it will be easy. And I said to her, yes, we do have a house together, but I'm not looking for anything but my peace of mind. I just want my sanity. He can have it all
Okay.
because, as I said, me no own a house at Jamaica, but Lickshot have house at Jamaica. My granny have place at Jamaica,
Yeah.
live at Jamaica. So me not frightened when it come on to piece of house to live. Now I own house to myself. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Mhm.
therefore, when she enlightened me, say me not have no house with my husband, I was shocked. I was like, what? What you saying to me?
Wait,
I
the
don't
lawyer?
know. Huh? Yes, honey.
Oh.
When she and girlfriend, when I was doing my citizenship, they asked again about the house, and I was like, we don't have a house, obviously, based on what the divorce document said. You know,
Mhm.
so I don't know what he did, but ask me where did I ask me, Corbett, just to do one point it out, so me get
Oh
3 years
God.
apartment.
Oh yeah. I wanted to ask you, like,
Go ahead, Corey.
take us through the. Yeah, me and
Nolan,
Corey now.
Nolan, me can call Corey, Jesus, me have to go married to Corey for true. Corey, available?
Tell us about the divorcing. Like, what gave you the strength to just go through and say, you know what, me, I left the man, yeah.
So remember, I stepped away from 2015, right? 2015, I stepped away thinking that girl up the now, girl ready to live our best life. There came breast cancer in 2016. I said, blop, sit on one side, goody, you're not ready for nothing yet. Then 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, I'm like, wait a minute. But me, I struggle on with this man for. I mean, what it's just his name, really and truly, because we're not together. We don't live under the same roof anymore. And I said I'm going to divorce him. I reached out to the lawyer and I did what I needed to do. And he was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah." What could I possibly going to know? You know what I mean? It wasn't hard for me. If it was somebody who make me feel like a queen and treat me like a royal, then maybe I regret something. But when the man they make me feel some kind of way, man, what would I be saying? I would have been deceiving myself and not setting an example for my children. There was a time when my son would say, "Oh, it's Friday night. Are you gonna take mommy on a date tonight?" Because Mark, Jeremy and a young boy, So Giant seen father to go to the girl on dates and must say, I said, "Poor mommy, I want to go on a fair shop." So my son would have like, "Are you gonna take mom on a date?" And he's like, "Who's gonna pay?" And my son would be like, "You." And he's like, "Nah."
That
And I
man?
be like schooling my son and like, "Listen, son, it's okay for a lady to pay on a date night, but it had to be something that she initiate and she wants to."
Yeah.
Good man too, he will say, "Baby, I know it's all your planning, but I'm responsible for all the finance." You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So staying in that relationship, but there was nothing for my kids to benefit from, so would deceive myself and not setting the right example for my kids.
So don't be afraid to
Were
walk
you
away.
diagnosed first with the C word? Were you still married? Yes, we were still married, honey, but we didn't live together. We weren't living together at the time.
Did he reach out at that time after
Yes, he certainly did. I think my cousin told him that I was sick, and he did reach out afterwards. And he even did give me some shillings too. I would not deny that part of it.
Yeah.
Thank God for the things we go through. Yes, Snacks girl. No, I'm a stronger person, all because of the things that I endured, honey.
The question that what was the question that Casey had? Oh, she said, would you say life in the US is better than Jamaica?
10 times more, honey. 100 times more better. For me, that was. Because working at the coffee factory at the time, I didn't have certain qualifications to get big checks like others who really went to school and had qualified, qualifications who would have allowed them to get better position. So I was working like a hand-to-mouth situation, living in a room in my grandmother's house. For me, it was really a struggle. My family and I, some was wayward in my doings at times. So me and my dad never had the best of relationship at one point. So for me being here, my life has been much, much better. 100 times better in all honesty.
That's good. And Beverly said,
And maybe dumb, but how is he doing now? I don't know. As I said, I was communicating with him even in the early onset of the pandemic, but he don't call, I don't call. Maybe I should reach out to say hi, but he's doing okay. I'm sure if there was something I would have heard, but I don't malice him. After we divorced, I took him to breakfast the morning, and yeah, we sat down, we had breakfast after we signed our documents and whatever, yeah. And I even put him in my car and drove him to his car because of the parking did set up. I mean, there's no animosity in my heart. I him. He just don't know what he lost. That's all.
That's true.
Say.
Yeah, for real.
That's true.
If you were able to give him a message right now, like what would your message be to him?
He doesn't know what he lost.
Just give him a smile, freeze the smile. Come closer and yeah.
Oh my God. Well, you know, even though we weren't together, one of the things that I did had in mind that I was going to throw him a big 50th birthday party because he was close to his 50th at the time. And I was like, oh my God. And I had missed it actually. I didn't remember the exact day on his birthday. But afterward, I asked him if I could take him out for dinner. And he came. And I mean, people know me can't keep malice, quite honestly. Me
Yeah.
ain't no malice keeping. And first of all, forgiveness is not for my ex-husband. Forgiveness is for
For
me.
you.
So I
Exactly.
forgave him. My kids have not forgiven him, especially Miss Lexi. She did them things saying dead. Them not no existence today.
It's more difficult
But
for
yeah,
them.
for the kids to see
Yeah.
what their
Not
mama
take them a while.
endured and all of that. But you know what, Mr. Joseph, I would say to you, thank you. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
this amazing opportunity. Thank you for your help. And thank you for the lessons that I learned being in your presence or your company.
Mm-hmm.
And that's growth.
Yeah.
Because you could have did have some animosity towards him. You could have did in your heart, no, you could have been like, oh, me hate him like poison and all of that. But you have such a clean heart.
I can't hate him. I remember even when my husband used to go and buy cars, and I'm like, oh my God, the kind of cars that my Danille drive and stuff. I'm like, what? Man, if only he knew. But you know what? It's life. It's all love. It's all love. And I'm not just here because I'm just saying, in all honesty, it wasn't meant to be. People come into your
Yeah.
life for a reason and a season, and that
That's
season
true.
has ended. You know, and I will use this couple I mean, Crystal and Bean in mind as she posted gracefully this chapter
Oh,
of
yeah.
love.
Oh
And
yeah, I saw that.
that's grace, you know what I mean? You know, if you know when you're beat up yourself.
That's true.
Me and Jermaine not together, but we are still cool, you know. Lexi father, oh God, Lord Jesus. When me and him talk, you know, that was my first love. Wow, we still kiss upon for mwah, I love you. You know, me and Olivia father lad was still rocky, but I guess with time we will get there. But me not have
Yeah.
no time to hate nobody in me. First of all, me not have no titty on my chest. So not I have no space.
No, no, no.
Exactly.
No space.
Let me tell you, guys. You know, initially when we were planning this live, not that we didn't realize that today would have been Valentine's Day, but it's just like our minds were like totally not there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because remember, I reached out and I said, you know, it's Valentine's, maybe you guys should get a couple or something.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all about love at the same time. It may not be a love story, but maybe if you guys are a couple and you want to be on here next week, reach out to the Mays. They are
Not even just
portable
that,
and they have
Danille.
room. Huh?
It's just like we would not have wanted it any other way.
Yeah, that's
Like basic what you talked about tonight, like even though it's your story and how you came to America and so on, you can see how like love and like marriage and that type of stuff kind of ties into the and even self love ties
Yeah,
into
oh
the
God.
Yeah,
whole
that's true.
thing.
That's true.
So it's like
gosh.
I personally just feel like it was a perfect topic to discuss tonight, and having you was the perfect person to come on to talk tonight.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's true. That's
Thank
why Africana say he
She'll
would
sit
sit
and
and
listen
listen to you
she
all
all
day. She
day.
would sit and listen to you all day.
Yeah.
Bless up African. But you know what, guys? As I said, I thought about this and I said, you know what? Going on to the days with the Mace tonight, what would I talk about that would have been inspiring to somebody? Even though, I mean, I have drifted from some of the things them couldn't talk on the here, quite honestly.
Yeah.
But you have to know how to present it so that you know you put a little of the bad and a little of the good, and you just
Mm-hmm.
level
Yeah.
it out. But you know, I am truly grateful for this opportunity. Honestly, grateful to be here again on your live and to be able to just share with you guys and your audience. You know, every week it's more. I mean, last week it was so heartfelt. Like my gosh, I sympathize so much with that young man. I met him a few years ago when they had a death in their family and he was in Fort Lauderdale. I met him.
Yeah.
His mom, you know, me and his mom go way back. She's an amazing person.
Yeah.
Roger was there. Brocky was there. We had a good time. So I do, trust me, man, people will go through things. If you go through things, America, and you know, come out to be nothing, you damn workless, my granny.
Something wrong with you for real.
But when you can take your pain and channel that into
Yeah.
something positive, listen, I'm telling you, I would not change anything about my life. Honestly, every
Yeah.
piece of the puzzle, and as I said today, my love story is still writing or it's being written. When I think that, boy, I would not meet somebody that would make me feel like a queen, you know, worse losing my breast, can't produce kids anymore. But girl, I thought that chapter would close, but it's just opening.
It's just opening. Look.
It's
my
just
God.
opening.
Amen.
It's just
I love that. I love that. I like it. Right, Nolan?
I like it. I like it.
I love it too, honey. I love it too. I love it too. But I'm just so humbled and I'm so grateful. And to anyone again that was here tonight, thank you for taking this opportunity. Just sharing this. What we've been on here almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you guys chose to sit in front of your screens just to listen to my story. To some, it may be like, but to that person who it resonates with, listen. And if you should ever have any questions, I'm approachable. You can ask me. If
That's
you don't
true.
follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I'm very much approachable and I'm open. And one thing somebody would always say, Danielle, why you don't cover up some things? Why should I cover it up? Why should I try to make it seem like it's not? You know, oh my God, Rochelle and I go way, way back, you know. You know, when I was christening Olivia, Rochelle sent them time they never know things could have been like this, Rochelle. And people that does things for me, I know that they're not looking for a thank you back on air or anything. But when Rochelle surprised me, because Payless was our place in it, I think it was no what the hype shoes them now, Fendi, all of them, something that please, I don't have Payless we used to them. What? Rochelle said, can you go to a Payless? I just sent shoes for Olivia and Lexi christening. I was like, I feel no, so we all in our struggle, but you were still able to help. Rochelle is able to come talk the things them over here.
Try to her again.
People want to see you. But you know, God has been just so good to me, and I'm so grateful. And I do hope that next time I'm on here, we can do bigger and better things because I do believe in giving back. I believe that what you guys are doing is really an amazing thing. You know, I know that this is just about to blossom into bigger and better things. Me already telling the son I'm gonna have on a TV crew, Oprah gonna look food, no.
Right. Is with the Maze TV.
I'm telling you,
the Maze TV, you know.
Exactly. It's going to grow because it's just what the people want. You know, you guys are catering to the people, and I love that. So thanks again for having me. I love you guys, and to all the winners tonight who didn't expect to win anything, I hope that you guys will enjoy your little blessing and let your blessing be a blessing. And
people
take care of you guys.
And people, if you have like any additional questions, now is the time.
Oh, sure.
Drop them in.
Hurry up before my wine finish because
before our wine
you know when our wine done.
Oh wait a minute, where's Brocky? Brocky not on tonight?
Oh yeah, he is. I think he commented a couple times.
Yeah, Robshan Martin. Big up.
Okay, all right.
Robshan set the bars high, Valentine's thing, but
yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And you know, guys, I think this topic too. Okay, if you guys want to come on here to talk about anything, you can reach out to us. Okay, we're very approachable. And
yeah, that's true.
We've never had anyone that reached out to us that we turned down and said no, we don't want it to come on.
And you guys can see the phone number somewhere up in our banner. It's in the banner.
Yeah.
Or you can email us. Because we, for most times, I don't remember the number.
Neither do I.
I'm being honest.
African Sage, that's Celeste, right?
What is
I can text you her Instagram name.
Oh, please do. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll text you her Instagram name.
What month are you, Danille? I think it's last month. No.
Oh, birthday?
No. Yeah. I
birthday.
think so.
January. I'm a
Yes,
I'm a
January.
Capricorn.
Amen.
I'm a Capricorn.
See me, she troubled my career.
You did it right.
Trouble?
Evolution. Wait, it's an inspiration.
Thank you, Nyla.
Oh yeah, so it's Celeste. So I'll text you and anybody else that you know what I'll do? I'll put it in the Danille's Instagram name in the description.
In the description,
box
yeah. So you can check it.
Yeah. And guys, we have before we go, okay? We have remember we told you guys that we're gonna come like every other week. And I know you guys have been wanting videos from us, and we're going to drop a video this week.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure we have what is something
Notification.
Notification bell on, because
everything.
I can guarantee you that you guys will honestly and truly love this one. So just make sure that the
notification is turned on. Hit that
bell and make it turn gray.
One of them.
So just make sure you are subscribed and so on. And then the week after,
which is February 28th.
Right, that's when we're gonna come live again. We're going to have
Nyla Loza. She commented earlier too. Evolution. So shout out to Nyla. She's gonna be coming on the program.
That's going to be tough. Yep.
Yeah, so she's gonna come. Remember, guys, like if you don't want to come, just hit me up.
Kisses to Charmaine. I said, so we can tell in one joke with Charmaine.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me.
She wanted to send me a nice gift for my birthday a few years ago, right? So she called me. Danille, I'm buying lotto. What's your favorite numbers? So I'm giving her numbers like just like give her some random numbers. She want to ask me for my address, but she don't know she. But oh my God, when it came, I was just like, oh my God. You know what I realized? I am loved by many. No
it's
kidding.
True.
I am genuinely loved by many persons. And if I should die tonight, I could say I really got all my roses and I smelled them. I am truly, truly blessed. I am truly, truly blessed. And even though sometimes the odds are all against me, I kept soaring because I'm still going to write my book, Soaring Against All Odds. I still
and don't teeth our title.
No, they can't. Because I let them teeth it. It's not going to be authentic because
it's true.
Very sorry.
Yeah. So yeah.
But guys, we truly appreciate you guys coming on tonight. Oh, and you know what we want to do? We actually have someone else that wants to come and like speak on this topic. So you know you hear it from a male perspective, a female perspective, and now you're going to hear it from like a young person.
Young person, yeah.
So just stay tuned for that. We're not going to spill the beans on that as yet, but just stay tuned for that.
Cool.
Yeah, when you think any other final thoughts that you want to say, Danille, before we go?
Guys, stay safe, stay positive, and just live your best life. Look at what COVID did to us this year. COVID stole so many persons. My God, I lost an uncle. I lost close friends to COVID. I could have lost my baby. Lexi was very, very, very sick. As you guys saw that we drove 14 and a half hours just to ensure that she was okay afterwards and so on. Just stay positive, guys. And as my primary school motto was, the sky's the limit. You know, keep soaring, keep reaching, keep trusting. As Tyler Perry would say, climb and push, or push and climb, however way it is for you. Stay motivated. You know, you can achieve it. Just like how I did it. And even though I had the critics and all of that, I'm gonna share more for walk around. My 3 kids are my biggest blessing. If I should conceive them over again, I'll try to do it with one person. But I do love all of
the way it was supposed to happen.
Exactly. So stay prayed up, stay motivated, stay trust in God, and it's all about one love.
Aww. And let's see Beverly's a little set up, you know. Look what Beverly's saying.
Beverly, you know, say.
Yes.
Beverly. You know, so I never brush my teeth for come by life.
That's true.
Don't you smell it?
I know what is your wife.
Oh, no, smell it. Yo, me not here. I don't even want to.
Oh, give me a little chips right here. Okay, right here. All right. All right. So, guys, we truly appreciate you guys, for spending Valentine's Day with us tonight. And, we'll appreciate the support. On your way out, just like the live and also subscribe if you're new and you haven't subscribed as yet. Please subscribe.
And throw some hearts in the comment. Valentine's night.
Of course, send me some red cards.
And if you want to send greetings to your significant other, you could definitely put it in the comment too. Happy Valentine's Day, my wife. Night.
Ah, big.
You guys are a mess.
Nice.
Look at this. Anyways, good night, guys, and thank you guys so much. And thank you, Danille, for coming on. Bye, guys. Enjoy your night.
Love y'all.